So here I'm using data binding for my activity. Okay. So what I have in here, so let's take a look at the layouts. So it's just a register form. So with email, password, and confirmations. So what is here? So we want to do an implementation. Okay. For this. So I need to open presentation mode. Thank you. So we have it here. Where is that? Here. Toggle presentation mode at keyboard. Okay. Command A, B. No. Command B. No. Command A. Awesome. Apply. Okay. Command A. So what I have here. So I have a layout for data binding, right? But I have no data here, right? So for data binding, you already know that we have some type of data and import and variable, blah blah blah, something like that. But no, I don't have view model here, so I can do it later. So I have linear layout here. It's vertical. It have a text input layout. Okay, or enable true. So anyone try text input layout with the arrow? So when you set an arrow in text input layout, then we have the the arrow string and under the text input layout with the wrap color. Okay, so you just wrap here and edit text, and you wrap and text input layout on top of the edit text, and then you can set arrow into text input layout. Okay, so that we show the arrows. Okay, so I gotta do a demo now. For example, I have register activity over here, right? And okay, it's a little bit hard for me to present this design text, right? I put in here an ID. Okay, so for example, email error. Okay, so one cool stuff about data binding here, this means you don't need to use butter knife to file view. For example, yeah, binding over here, right? So I can binding and dot email error. Awesome. Okay, so you may not need butter knife. So I can set error, right? So I put everything here. So hello, maybe, and then I gotta try to run the application. So here I have open my chain motion. Sorry, it takes some time. Okay. So again, with data binding, you just declare in the HTML files your ID, right? And then, and then you in your register activity, just binding and dot the ID, okay? And you have that ready, and just set error in that. Okay, so I gotta try to run my application. You run that. Okay. So we're gonna take some time. So you see that Java is painful. Right? Just small applications. You put it back to GitHub. You click on the play button and you wait 2 minutes, 3 minutes. Maybe bigger application like Tiki, it take longer, maybe 5 minutes. Okay. So you see that when you set the arrow into the text input layer, it will display like this. Okay. So in this demo, I gotta try to use MVVM to validation. For validation, for example, when I design. So here when I type the email chain, and it will display an error text over here. Okay, so that email is not email invalid format, right? Something like that. And then when I type and I have a valid email, that error will go away. Okay, and password, maybe I want the password to have at least 8 characters. Okay, so when I type 3 to 4 characters, the error still display. Instead that password is too short. And when you reach 8 characters to 9, and error go away. So for example, you imagine that in your activity you have to handle all of the logic, right? And confirmation, check for password confirmation, it is same or not. And then I want this button cannot click when they still are on the screen, okay? And then when it's ready, I can click and I go to the register API or user API, something like that, to register a new user. Okay, is that clear? Okay, that's just a requirement. Okay, so I gotta go. So in here, I need to display my stuff. How can I do that? Gotta register activity. How can I display? Okay, command shift A. Okay, I go back here. So here on the left, I have some stuff for you. Ready? So I have an API. So here I have a repository button. What is that? It's just an interface. That's it. So you maybe use a callback, right? Or you use iJava. So here I use observer, iJava. Okay. So I put in here email and password. Okay, and it will return a string to say that you are success or not. Any errors? The email is only used or not. Okay, something like that. And it's just an interface. Okay, it's just an interface. And then I gotta have implementation of that stuff here. I implement the user repo. It's just an interface, but passing here user API. Okay, and then I gotta call the user API. Just that, nothing more. Why? Why I have to do this? Maybe because I use API here, but later I want to use Firebase, right? And then I'm not gonna push user API here. Maybe I pass data reference or authenticate or something, authenticate object, right? And then there will be a different logic over here. But you have to make sure that it will return an observable. Okay? So you change the way you use API. Maybe you use database. Maybe you use Heroku. Maybe you use backend. Maybe you use Firebase. I don't care. Okay? I just care this guy. Okay? I just care this guy. Later you change, I can still survive. Okay? I can still survive. Maybe I want to switch from Firebase to other stuff. I can still survive. I just care about this interface. And I can use dependency injection. I just add the dependency injection that I need a user repo. Done. I don't care. How is the implementation? Is it a Firebase? Is it a backend? Is it a cloud? I don't care. I just add dependency injection. Give me user repo. That's all. And somewhere in my application, I can fit the user repo. And later, I just want to change only that part of code. Can you understand? You understand?
But when we see the real, when we have the data, we get.
What?
I mean, when we see real, when we implement,
Yes.
we will get to know.
Yes. But yeah, okay. I gotta implement that. Okay. So I gonna go use a library called Dagger. So Dagger is very famous from Android community. So Dagger here, I'm gonna true. Here is Dagger. Okay. A fast dependency injector for Java, for Android. Okay. So it have everything here. So I gotta add the here I have for you. So I don't have much time for a lot of stuff to cover. So I have add all the stuff over here. Android test combine. Annotation processor, compiler, something. Okay, I had add everything for you. So at home, you take a look. Okay. So here is two important stuff. Okay, just add this guy again. It's for annotation processors to generate your code. Okay, and you have everything ready. So here I got a demo how to do dependency injection in Android. Okay, so here I'm gonna create a new package. Okay, so I can call it dependency. Okay, so in here I'm gonna have two stuff. Okay, first is the component. I gotta explain that. Oh, okay. So I create a component first. So I can call it an app component. I will explain that. Okay, so it's in interface. Okay, just bear with me a little bit. So you add a component here. So it's an interface. Again, it's an interface. I add an annotation component. It means Dagger will generate the code for me. I don't have to do anything. They will generate the code for me. Okay. So what is the component? And then I will have an app model. So the app module is the place you provide the way to construct an object, and that place is the only place you provide a new operator. Okay. So for example, you have to add model, so they will generate a code for you, and then provide. You just go to the document and implement like them, and everything will work. Okay. So in here, you have provide method. For example, I want a user API. Okay. Okay, I want user API, so I may do something like user API provide. You can name anything you want. Okay, so I love to name like this. So okay, so later if any object need user API in the constructor, okay, that girl will go to display and call that. Okay, so you don't have to new user API anywhere in the application. Okay, only this place. Okay, and then later you don't like user API, you can change something, change one place. Okay, only change in here. So whenever you need a user API in another constructor, that will come to find add module, add provide, and return a user API for you. Okay. Okay. So I gotta do a demo. Okay, and then I gotta do a demo. For example, here a component. So what is a component? So a component must have a module with that. Okay. So here I have app module. So a component is used to inject the module into the activity or anything else. For example, I want to inject into register activity. Okay, and okay, I gotta try to inject that. For example, I go to register activity. Okay, so first I need to build my application, so that girl will generate the code for me. So I will wait a little bit, and then I just do something like this, and sorry. Okay. Wait me a little bit. User. Yeah. Okay, I gotta build again. Run. Review. What is that? Review project. What is this stuff? Okay, so maybe I have to delete these guys. Okay. So I'm not gonna do Android test today. At home you can take a look. Okay, so we have Android test and unit test. So I just do unit test today. So I don't have much time to do Android test, so I delete those guys. Okay. So anyways, for them to finish. Okay, it will take some time. Okay, and then you just add inject user API without any new operator, and that girl will provide it for you. But you need one more step here. So you see that Docker has generated Docker app component, and you can take a look at the bucket name. It's my bucket name. Weird, right? It's my bucket name. It means it's not a class from the system or the library. It has been generated into the bucket name evidence.com.with8. Okay, generated for you, and I use again a build a button. Okay, so you have to pass in here the app model. Okay, and then view, and then inject this. Okay, so it's a lot of code, but in here it said that they will build a component. So a component here, we check the module. Okay, we check the module. The module is a place you provide dependency. Okay, so a module is a place you provide dependency. Okay, a component, we take the module and inject into your activity fragment or anything you want to. Okay, so in here we build a component. So at the build state, you see that it will return an app component, right? And then we already have an inject method here. It's just an interface. They will generate a code for you, and you do inject this, and user API will ready. Okay, I gotta do a debug. So I just want to make sure that user API is not new. Okay, so I'm gonna debug over here. I'll run it again. So you see that you don't have to use the API new something. Okay. Okay, it's running. Okay. And you see that user API is not new. It's not new, right? So binding is new. You see, we have not constructed the binding object ready, but you can see it over here. User API is not new. Okay. So somehow dependency injection is working. It means you just inject the user API into activity without constructing it. So maybe user API will depend on more object, right? So when you construct user API, you can pass in maybe retrofit, maybe restore or something. Pass a lot of stuff, right? Just add inject, and you have everything ready. You don't have to do new a lot of time. Okay. So I gotta close it out. I gotta create a view model. Okay. So I have here a validation object. So it's nothing new. It's just Java object to validation a request to make sure that email is this format. Okay, so I'm not gonna go here. So it have character from A to Z or 0 to 9, blah blah blah. It have an add a character over here. It have at least one dot and blah blah blah. Some kind of. So you have to construct something like CoderSchool at gmail.com, something like that. Okay, it's just a regex to check. So I have here a public void method, okay, to validate the email and pass in here email string. I check if it's not new or not, and if it's not new, I will check using this regex, okay, regression to match that email. Is the email had this format? Okay, I just copy and paste this from somewhere on the internet. Okay, okay. So here I have to check password. So it should return that password is not new, right? And password had length at least 8. Okay. So this is an object to validate stuff. Okay. So view model will need this object and a user API, right? So register view model will depend on this object and user API object, right? So for normally without dependency injection, I will have, okay, I'm gonna create a new view model object. Okay, it's just a Java object, nothing more. Okay, a view model object, and I'm gonna create here register view model. Okay, it's just an object. Okay, and then I gotta create here private validator, private user API, right? Sorry, user label. Okay, so it depend on user label and validator. Okay, and I create constructor. Okay, like that. Okay, simple enough. And then, for example, I want to create register view model in register activity. Okay, what I do? I do something like this, and I have to, for example, I need it here. I have to new it, right? And I realize that I need validator and user label. Oh my god! And then I have to, maybe here. Validator equal new validator. Oops, it's not that validator. Register validator, sorry. Okay, I gotta go back in here and register validator. Okay, awesome. And in here, that you have to have register validator. You have to construct that object, and then you have to construct a user API, right? Sorry, user label, right? And user label, you need to create a new user label implementation, and then you need user API. Okay, good enough. So I create user API. Okay, awesome. And I create user API, and I have to put a user API over here, and then yes, and then I have to pass in here the validator, and then I have to pass in here the user label. Okay. It's just for object. Okay. For object, and I have to do this. It's not cool. Not cool at all. Okay. So maybe you come to the hub controller, you see it, it's fine, and it's more. And anytime you need this guy, more lines of code. And when you want to refactor it, no way. You understand? You understand? You see? You see? Dependency injection will hide any stuff for you. You don't care. Okay? How we can do that? I gotta do that. I gotta remove all these slide. Okay? And I go move to my component. Sorry, my model over here. Okay, let's get started. I need to provide here, userable, right? So public userable, sorry. You can name anything, but I love this guy this way. Okay. So in here I have to return a new userable, right? Implementation, but I need the body here user API, right? So I about in here a user API. I'm gonna explain it later. So when you ask for a userable, okay, it try to new the userable implementation, and it's find out that they need a user API object, okay, and then what it do? It will call this function, okay. Whenever you need user API, it call this guy, okay, and then you have another function need user API in the constructor, and it call it for you one place. Only one place to construct user API. And when you need to change that, change this line. Done. Maybe we want to add more dependency to user API. Maybe user API need more here. Maybe they need a retrofit object. Right? And I have to pass a retrofit object over here, and I have another method at provide. Easy, right? So if you new user API everywhere, and later you want to add retrofit, anywhere you new user API, you have to add one more line to new retrofit. Okay? And if retrofit need more, you need to add more lines. More bugs, more error, more painful, no money. Okay? That's it. And in here, I have to add one more step, like, what is that? Validator? Yes, which is the validator. Okay. But why? I have to write a lot of code, right? Maybe the validator is easy enough. That, I don't need to, new one step here. So, dependency injection give you another way. It means you can inject something like this. Very, very, very powerful. For example, you create a new constructor and you add inject over here, and that's it. Okay? So there are two ways. One way is you provide it from your model, app model. One way here is you just add inject from your constructor. Okay, so when to use when to put in the app model and when to put an add inject from the constructor. So if you have an interface, you cannot do this way, right? If you have an interface like userable and userable implementation, like this, you cannot do that way. Userable here is an interface, right? And here you cannot put inject here because there is maybe a lot of ways to provide for an interface. An interface can have a lot of objects implemented, so I don't know which object to choose, right? So without an interface, for example, register validator. You just add inject over there, and you don't have to call new. Every time they need to provide a new validator, they will based on this add inject annotation and find the constructor for you. You don't have to new that. Okay. And then I add one more here. So user API is the same. It's not an interface, right? So I don't have to write these guys. In the local, I just did add inject. Okay, I have one. Okay, and that's it. I can remove this guy. But userable is different. We cannot do that. Okay, and then finally, I will provide my view model, right? And you will see that it will work like a charm. All right. And in here, I need to provide what's up, right? A validator, right? Register. And API, variable. Right, and I just return new register view model, and I pass in here the validator and a variable. Right, that's it. Okay, I will prove to you that all these object is not new. Okay, So in here, in register activity, and again I gotta do register model. But you have to remember that you should not put private. So you put private in here, they could not accept the object. So I'll add inject. Okay, and again I'm gonna do diagram component builder models. That's a lot of code, right? A lot of code. So maybe a good place to add this guy is to add in your application. Okay, so you can add it to in your application. You don't want to write a lot of code. Maybe I want to add. So when I add an object into the application, it means when this object only die when application die. Okay, so I want to explain something here. So guys, so for example, I have okay, calculator. Okay, what happened and difference when I click these three buttons? Who knows? Who knows? For example, I type something here. What is the difference between these three buttons? I click on them. Who knows? Okay, starting with the circle button. What happens when I click on the circle button?
It will go into crossfade.
And when I open it,
Resume.
resume activity. Exactly. So when I click on the circle button and I want maybe I try to open my application, I go back. It means my activity is not die. It's not die. Right? What happens when I click on the back button?
Still in the.
The activity will die.
You mean this last one?
This one. Back button. What happened? The activity will die, right? When I click on the back button, I open that, right? My number is disappear. It means the activity is died, but the application is not died. Oh my God! A lot of Android developers don't know this. So you click on the back button, activity dies, but application is not died. Okay? I gotta prove now. Okay? And the final one where I click on the rectangle button here and I try to swipe it to the left, everything is died. Okay? Application died, activity died, everything is died. Okay? So I'm gonna demo it now. For example, I want public string in a equal to 1, right? In here. And in my register activity, okay, I'm gonna disable the code over here. Okay, and I gotta do a toast, right? I make a toast and I want to get my application, right? I want to cast it into, okay, it's a little bit hard, right? I want to cast it into the application, my application, and here, and I get the A out, okay? Okay, maybe I do a getter etc. It's better. So okay, I can put it private, right? And a getter and setter. Bam. Okay. And I want to get out my number. I want to display it using this, guys. I want to make a length short. So, okay. So after this line, okay, I try to, update my variable. For example, I want to update it into 10. Okay, awesome. Let's see. So you see number 1, right? And then when I click the circle button, I go back. Number 1 is not displayed again. It means it's not called on create. Okay? I try to go with the back button. Okay, I go back. Where is that? With 8. Where? Okay, I gotta open use here. Register. My God, it's 10. It's 10. It means my application is still alive. Who know this? Before this lecture, allow the Android developer downloads. So Facebook uses this mechanism to cache the data. So when you open Facebook, okay, I open my Facebook. I want to scroll down here, right? This picture. I go to circle button, okay? I go back. It's still there, right? I go over the back button. But sorry, I gotta go with the rectangle button first. I go to the rectangle button. I go to the left, okay? I just open Facebook again. You see that it will load the data again. You will see that it will load the data again. See? It will load the data again. See? Scroll down. I go with the back button. I go back. It's not load the data. See? The activity will die and construct again. So you see that the recycle will go back to the top. But you see that it's not loading the data again. Where is that? Here. See? There's no loading. But when you go with the square button over here, you will see that it's low data again. You see? You see? Why? Because the data is living with the application. See? Only the applications survive on the back button. And Facebook cache that data into the application using Docker. And when you click the back button, the application is still alive. When you go back, to display the data immediately. It's a good user experience. Okay? Question? Yes. Well, if you have background trace, something like service or intent service, you download some files, that still works. Okay? You don't want a scenario like you click a button, you download a file, you click the back button and it stop download. It's not good, right? You still want the app download, so application still alive. When will application die? Click on this button, or you add more and more application, and Android needs more memory, and they will kill your app under the ground. If not, it will still alive until you need more memory and kill your app. Is it clear? Is it good? Good to go, right? Okay, I gotta go. And using, Docker, they allow you to make a component live with the application. Okay? So the way to do that is mean you just go to your component. Here, add singleton, and what two stuff to do. First, add singleton, then the app component will live with your application. It means it's only die when the application dies. And maybe you have a way to provide data in your app model that have a singleton. It means the data will live with the application. And only when application dies, data will disappear. Okay, in here, for example, again, I will make register view model live with the application. Okay, I will show you guys that. When I go back button and go again, you see that the register view model is still alive. Something like that. Okay, so I gotta do implementation now. So I go to my application over here. I gotta remove this slide. Okay, I gotta create a new stuff over here. Private component. I want to construct that. A dagger, a component. It generate everything for me. Module and view, right? And I need to get a getter, right? Get app component. Okay, awesome. And then in my register activity over here, okay, so I can do something like simpler, right? Maybe I want my application, get component, and just inject for me. Okay, so I will prove to you that view model is not new. First, not new, and its dependency is not new too. Okay, let's see how it works. Oh my god, I don't have time to implement view model. Okay, so let's see. When you go here, the binding is new, right? It's not been constructed yet, but take a look. The view model is not new. Okay, it has an address over here. So it's not new. Take a look closer. A userable is not new. A validator is not new. a user variable have a user API is not new too. Okay. Okay. All dependency is injected. You don't have to go new again, and again. Okay. I create everything for you. So I'm gonna do MVVM now. So again, maybe at home you discover that when you add the annotation singleton to your app component over here, it means here, and then in the app model you can add it over here. So a two way. One way is you don't have annotation. It means when you ask for dependency, it construct object again. It construct object again. Or yeah, as singleton. It means the object will construct once and live with your application until it dies. So it's going to stop. So application scope is in this object is live with the application. So you can create an object live with activity. So maybe you want an object living with your activity and it's only die when activity dies. For example, some case you can construct an object. You need that to live with the activity. And in your fragment, when you inject it, you want to get that object out, not create a new one. So you share an object between fragment and activity. And that fragment is your view model. When you update the data on the fragment, will be notified using Java or database, something like that. So it means an object living with the activity scope. So I have shown you that the integer living in the application scope. Okay, so it's a lot of stuff. I just introduction, a lot of stuff. I could not cover all of them. Just go at home, go to my repo and take a look and learn by yourself. Okay, and finally I'm gonna do implementation. I have 30 minutes left. Okay, so back to register activity, right? So I have here my view model ready. So I gotta do some stuff here. So in here I have utils over here, a view, text chain adapter is nothing new, it's text watcher, right? A text watcher is just used for edit text. Okay, so you have an edit text, right? And you set a text watcher to get the event back from before on text chain, after text chain, before text chain, something like that. I just implement this guy to reduce the complexity. There's a lot of stuff, that a lot of parameter here. I just implement that. And later when I extend it object, I just use maybe this guy only, this guy only, and this guy only. Okay, do it at home. And I have here an interface text chain. Okay, so I gotta do binding. So Android not binding for free. I have to implement that. But you only implement that once. You can use it everywhere. For example, in view model over here. Okay, so I gotta add some stuff over here. Okay, so what is in view model? So for example, you have an email, right? An email. You just type an email, right? An email, right? So you have an email string. Simple enough. And then you have password, right? So what is on the view can change, view model will have. Okay, what is on the view can change, view model will have. Okay, so password, right? What is that? Confirm, right? Awesome. And then we need something like errors. So error is something a little bit special. When you change the error, the view will be changed with them, right? So that Android binding gives you some good stuff here. Observable field. So you have observable integer. It means when the integer change and you bind it on your layout, the layout will be notified. Okay, you just update this value and the layout will be changed with this automatically. Okay, so observable in or observable field, or you have observable boolean, right? Or observable field. So they don't have observable string, so you just need this guy. Okay, so maybe email error or something. Yeah, so you have to create a new object. So okay, simple enough. Okay, I got copy and paste, and maybe I want a password error, right? Maybe I want to confirm error. Stay with me, guys. It's the last lecture. Okay, so I gotta do a demo. For example, when I construct an object, right? I want email errors to have value invalid. Okay, let's see if the view is, notified or not. For example, in here, okay, let's do data binding stuff. I do very quickly. So data over here, I have an import, I have my package, but I want to get my view model, a register view model. I want to have a variable name view model. I want its type to be register view model. You already learned that, right? And then in here, How it works? We go to there. Okay, it is short code. I find a method named setArrow. A string. No. Just sequence. Where is that? I think it's head one. Let me see. Where is that? setArrow enable. Okay, setArrow something. Here. Okay, they have a method named setArrow. Okay, so how you can buy this? Okay, so you need like the observable string chain, and this method will be called. But you don't want this method to call by yourself. Call by the framework. Okay, so you can do that by arrow and add view model. They don't auto complete the code for you. So email arrow. Okay. This will call setArrow and call the email arrow from view model. That's it. And you see that I don't call setArrows. I only call, let's say, I only update the email arrow from my register view model, right? Here. So I expect that from my UI they have the invalid stuff, right? So I just update the email arrow and the invalid appear from the UIs. That's it. Okay, how I can do that? I just need to construct a new object over here, right? So and I set view model, which is the view model. That's it. Let's see. Okay, I have tables. Let's see. Okay, email arrows is a private stuff, right? So I need to have it public. Simple enough. Okay. You can put a setter, getter, but I think it's not necessary. It will be a lot of code. Not necessary. Oh my god. See? I don't call setArrow. I don't call setArrow. It's just there for me. Okay? So now I gotta do implement validate emails. Okay? Very quickly. So see that you already know the binding utils, right? I have said that yes, a binding adapter here. It means you create a new field in the HTML, right? So you have add arrows. You can add and text chain. And what is in the text chain over here? I will pass in here an edit text, okay? And a text chain. A text chain is just an interface, okay? Okay. So I will show you. And then when user tie in, I would add text chain listener. Right? Why use the text chain adapter here? Why just new text watcher? Because there are a lot of methods. I only need on text chain, so it's not a big deal. So I will add text chain listener in here, and then when user tie in the text chain, I will update it through the text chain. Okay, so it's a little bit hard to understand, but I will do it now. I will create a new text chain, right? Email chain. I will create, because it's an interface, so I have to implement that. I have Java 8, so awesome. And then I want an email to be updated, right? So it's equal to value. Okay? And then when user time, I want to update. For example, I want to set email arrow equal to the email. Email. Okay? And then finally I buy it through here. Binding utils, it means you define a new binding adapter. I define a text chain, so I can use that in my here. Okay? Okay? And then again, view model dot email chain. So I'm gonna explain again. So it will read this line and try to call the Java code over here. And when it pass in here, it will pass the edit text and the email chain for me. So where is the email chain? We pass in edit text and email chain, right? So edit text we will pass in over here, right? And the text chain, where is that? It's from my view model, right? Over here. Okay. So in the binding utils, they have the edit text ready, and the text chain get from the view model. And then when the text chain, they will update that text into view model. Okay? Okay, and then when I go there, and then go to view model, I will update the email arrow. So let's see that is the UI will react to my action. So again, I tie in the edit text through the adapter. They will context change from my view model and update the email and update the email error. Let's see. I tie in. Oh my god, for free. You see? So I just only update the email error. That's all. So you see that my activity don't do anything. I don't have to do but the knife. I don't have to get the text view out. I don't have to test input layout out. I don't have to update the text again. So this is a more small case. So a bigger case, a lot of stuff, and you see that activity will overwhelm. 1,000, 2,000, 3,000 line of code. Right? Right? In your company, do you ever see that activity have 1,000 line of code? Yes. For my team, I guarantee less than 250 lines of code for my activity of fragment. Okay, less than 250 is my number. Okay, maybe 300. 300 is max. So that's it. And then I gotta do TDD. I gotta write unit test. Okay, for my register view model. So you see in here, it's only Java. Java. It's nothing new. Okay, it's only Java. Observable field is just a data structure. Can be notified. Everything is Java. And I create new test by go to and test and create new test and set up before go. So they create a new test for me under here. Okay. And at before it means every time you try to test, they will call a before. They call a setup method first, and then I will try to run your test. So I will declare here register view model. Awesome. And I need to provide a user variable. Alright. So in here, instead of using user variable, so here when you try unit test, you don't try to call the data from the API. Right? Maybe you want some case, right? I want a case with 10 data. I want a case with empty list. To see that if my view model has updated the title empty, this list is empty. So, for example, when a list is empty, you have a logic to show or hide the line this list is empty. So maybe they return 10 data, and this and that line will be hidden, right? And when they return an empty list, the line this list is empty have to be appear, right? It's a kind of logic, right? But you cannot depend on the API. API will you cannot ask API, please return me 10, please return me 9, please return me empty list. No, API cannot do that. But you need to test those cases. So because user variable is an interface, right? So you can do anything you want, right? Back user variable, you just need to implement. Sorry, in a class, right? You need to implement user variable, right? And maybe I want to return success. Observable. Just success. Okay, you don't need to understand it. You only need that I can provide anything I want. Okay, so when I create new register view model, I need to pass in here a validator. So I have a text validator here. You can read it at home. So I just pass in here my new stuff and new fact user variable. Did you get that? Did you get that? It means, for example, I want to return string success. Or maybe I want to return an error, right? Like this, with in email has been used. New durable, right? Okay, and I want to see that if my view model react to this test case, something like that. Okay, but each case I have to create a new class. There's a lot of stuff, right? So I will introduce one more library, but I'm not gonna demo it here. Okay, so a mockito is a library to mock anything you want. For example, I want to return this guy. observable, trueable email has been used, or it's just success, something like that. I can do something like this. For example, I can mark and usable. I will explain that. And in here, I want Mockito annotation init models. So what is he do in here is you can do something like this. Usable. Okay, awesome. Dot then return observable. Sorry, observable t. No, here just success. Okay, register. Maybe an email pass. So it means that they will give a fake object for you, like I do before, but under the line. I don't have to do that. So at any case special, I have to create a new object. I have to create a new object. I have to create a new class. A fake something. That wasting time, right? So using library, they do like I do before. So you can just put in here, I want to return a success. Okay. When I push in the email and pass, just return a success, something like that. Okay. So I'm not gonna demo here. Just do it at home and figure it out. So I just do MVVM today. Okay. And so register view model, I gotta create a new register model, new register, validator, and a button here userable. It's a fake userable, okay? So under the line, we can fake anything. You can fake networking, you can fake data callback, you can fake a list of 10 data, you can fake a list of empty data, anything you want. And then I go to the test, okay? I want to test something like this. The email error, when I input it, an invalid email, it should show the error. So it's just a way that I do testing. Okay, so there's a little bit convention here. This is the subject I want to test. This is the input that I put into my test, and this is the result. So when I put in the invalid email, the email error should display errors. Okay, so I gotta do it now because they have a view model. You can do it easily. So when you type in the email, it means view model. Okay, I gotta put it in view model for easier. I put it in view model and email chain and on chains. For example, you should type in CoderSchool at gmail.com, right? So I can type, right? So view model email chain. So in the view, you can type the email, and view model can type the email. View is just display to user. Anything view can do, view model can do. See, I type in the email. So I gotta do something. When I type in an invalid email, the error should be displayed, and I will display using view model to do that. When I type in invalid email, for example, something. When I type in invalid email and I expect that, okay. Yes, and I expect that invalid email should be display. Email error. That's it. You see, view model can do anything like view, but you cannot see. User can type in, I can set in, I can get the error out, I can get the error out. Okay, and then I can run the test, and I make sure that it's failed. I do a TDD, okay? Okay, it's failed, and it said that expected invalid email, but it give me this string is not good. Why? Because I'm doing this, right? So I just put validation here. So I can maybe extract a new method. Validate email, create this, no, I create this, and then I go check. I have validator, right? So I get my validator. I will check my email, and if it's not valid, right? And then I should do what? Set invalid email, right? I gotta do run again. It passed, and then I run from the UI. You will see that view model can do anything. This is lacking from presenter. Presenter, MVP, that Google recommend. I don't like MVP because I cannot write test like this way when I use MVP. Okay, I have to invoke an interface to review, right? Right? Yes, I could not write test this way. Okay, so I type in. Okay, it's just work, and the test is reliable. Okay, when anything, some guy just put in here some stupid stuff, and okay, and but there is some bugs here, so maybe I put in here a valid email, email at. Oh, it's not disappear, right? You say it should disappear, but it's not. Okay, so I gotta put in here again. So I will say that. Is it a bug, guys? Is it a bug? It's a bug, right? So I will write a test case to cover this bug, and then I fix that bug, and I make sure that this will not happen again because I have test case. Okay, it's a bug, right? It's a bug, and I will write a test case to make sure that it failed because of this bug. And when I try to implement the code to pass the test, this will go away. So my test will live and protect me from this bug. So anytime you have a bug, write unit test. Okay? Anytime you have a bug, write unit test and make the unit test pass and check on the UI is go, it's work, it means it's never happened again. We have test cover for you. Okay? It's a bug, right? I'm gonna write a test to cover that bug. Email error should invalid valid email. So no error. Okay, it's a way of me to writing test. So each people have their own way. So maybe in here. Okay, it should be new. And here, Gmail, email at gmail.com. I'm gonna run this test. It passed. Oh my god. The bug is not go away, but it still pass. This means this test is not valuable. See? It test is pass. So if you write a code file and try this test, it brings no value. And this bug will happen. You see that? The UI, this bug happened, but I write a test there, I put in the valid email, but it's not failed. So how can I write a test that redisplay the bugs? How can I do that, guys? How can I write a test fail that behavior exactly like the bugs? You see before. So the reason why it failed here is because initially the email error is new. Okay, so you can pass in here value, you can pass here something, all right, or you don't pass anything. When you don't pass anything, it means the value is new. So right from the start, it's new, and then when you put that email in, you try to check this validator, and it find out that it's good. So they don't call this line, and this test is not reliable. It's not good. It's not represent the case. So how can I represent a case, guys? Very easy. You can think about that. Very easy. One line. How can I represent the case that I do on the UI? It means I write down some, test like email, right? It failed, and then when I write again, it should disappear in the email, but it's still there. Okay. So how can I write down one line to make this test fail? One line. So again, by default, the error is new. I put in a valid stuff, so it's still new. You know? I put one line here, make it simple, right? Test should be simple. Make one line here to make this test fail. You know? Who knows? Very easy. So what happened before I write this line? When I type in the email, I have to type in the invalid email first, right? When I type the email, it's invalid. And when I type email at gmail.com, it's start to valid. But the test is different. The test is right from the start. I put it in a valid email. So very simple. I will put it in here and invalid email first. Right? 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 So when I put in the invalid email, it will show the error. And then when it's turned into a valid email, it should disappear. That's the case. And when I run this, it should fail. Awesome. Do you understand? Do you understand? So by default, the error is new. Right? So when I put it in here, the valid email is still new. So this tag is not represent the case. So the case is when I type the invalid first. So the error, and then I turn that email into the valid, stop, and that error go away. So this is the good test. It failed. So it failed, right? When I make it pass and the UI no box, it means this test is cover my case, right? This test is failed, the UI is failed. When I make this test pass and I see that the view is no bug, it means this test is cover the bugs, right? So I gotta do implementation. Easy. Before I do validation, I just set it new. I run the test again. It passed. I try to run from the email, from the UI. I type in the invalid email. Okay. So it's a little bit logic here. So I have a box. I create a test, a test fail. Okay. When I make that test pass and I see that the bugs go away, it means the test is protecting the bugs to happen again. Can you get that? Who don't understand? Who don't understand? Who don't understand? Can you understand, Thoại? Can you understand? A little bit. Can you understand? I will do it again. So I have a box. Okay? I have a box. Okay? I create a test fail. I have a box. A test fail. I try to make the test pass. And I check the box again. I see the bugs go away. It means the test is protecting that bug to happen again. So it means when the bugs happen again, the test will fail. Right? Again, bugs, a failed test. I make the test pass and check the UI. It's no bugs. So it means when that bug happens again, that test will fail. And I will be no. If some guy go, wrote my code, and put it up, my test run again, automatically, it's failed. Email me, what the fuck are you doing with my code?
Is there any way that you have maybe 2 bugs and you accidentally fix the test?
Maybe. So it means you have to create 2 tests.
If you pass
You
it,
should.
you believe that.
You don't know that. Maybe there is a case that one happened and one did not happen. You don't know. You don't know.
Usually, how much tests you should create in this?
In TK, I have more than 1,000 tests
Or,
for view model. Activity, have integration tests. But I don't cover integration tests here because it's hard. It needs time to practice, okay? So it's 9. Any question? So I have a full code for my remote. Just go there, I go upload the videos and put the code in GitHub. You can go to my robot and it's over here. Over here. CoderSchool lecture A. I have implemented all the tests, on dependency injection, on integration test. You just take a look at home. Maybe later you want to learn more advanced stuff. If you know this $1,000, $1,500, you can get that. $1,500 là có thể. Nếu như mọi người hiểu hết mấy cái này và implement it well. Any question? Any question?
can we debug in the test
Yes, you can click debug. For example, you can right click on the test and debug. One more thing, you should make the test, you know, should make the test simple. So what happens if you make a bug in the test? It's not good. Okay. So you see that way. Like at the first I put here 2 lines. This line is a bug. It's a bug in unit test. So you have to see the test file first. When you see the test file and you make it pass, there is no bugs in your unit test. Or you have to write unit test to test your unit test. It's crazy. Okay. You can go home. Thank you guys.